said, I'm still on YouTube watching videos. That's how much I learned and studied FFL.
So you could be as hyped as you want. But if you don't execute on the game plan, you're going to get punched in the mouth.
We are going to keep getting better, but it's almost like scary because you know the people who are in the bench right now that are getting ready to get in the game with us. And it's going to be an explosion.
Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us for our Training Day podcast. I've got two special guests in here with me. Habi, what's your last name?
Abu-Bakr.
See, I would have never said that right.
Yeah.
Habi Abu-Bakr.
It's actually Habibata Abu-Bakr.
Habi. I was trying to move on to Chris Warren. But, whatever it takes. Yeah. But you go by Habi for sure.
I go by Habi, yes.
Let's go. All right, we're rolling. So, and my man Chris Warren. You guys are part of the same team, and you guys are looking to continue to grow your company. Yeah. Coming off a record month. Yeah. Excited to have you guys in studio. And Habi, you had quite the trip in.
Yes.
Yeah. Would that be fair?
Yes.
You want to detail a little bit of it? Don't go too crazy, but just, it sounds like you were all over the place trying to get in. We had a couple storms.
Yeah.
You slept in the airport.
Slept in the airport, yeah. I flew in from Norfolk to D.C. It was about a quick 30 minutes, and I was supposed to fly from D.C. to here, which the flight was supposed to leave at almost 10:30.
Last night?
Okay. Last night. So it started with, there's a 30-minute delay.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse.
And then it kept going to 11:30, 12:30.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to take a nap. By 1:30, they said it's canceled. And they didn't know when we can get back in the air. So I woke up and it said we would not leave till 12:30. So I was at the airport for about 16 hours.
You are a trooper, young lady. Appreciate you for getting here, coming in, forging forward and not going back.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to make it here.
Because it's so easy to go, I'm going home.
No,
a lot of people will do that. They're like, you know what, Mark, listen, I got it. I tried. They shut it down. I'll make it up the next time. Yeah. But I appreciate you for coming in.
Absolutely.
We're excited to have you guys.
Can you tell us why you wanted to come in? Because I know why you came in here, but I don't think people understand why the value of you actually still pushing, and I think it will help someone.
That's good.
Yes. So for me, I come from a practice company, and I want to learn so much. I'm not to edify myself, but I'm a sponge, and I want to soak in as much as possible. And I think, Mark, you mentioned that since I came to FFL, you've seen me, this is probably the fifth or sixth time. And it's always in different states.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Fifth or sixth time, maybe in 30 to 40 days.
Yeah.
You definitely are out there.
Sick in the knowledge.
Like, for real.
Sick in the knowledge.
Yes, I am.
That's a good point.
I have a healthy obsession for growth, and that's where I'm at right now. It's just, I just want to grow, and I want to learn as much as possible. And what better person, and anytime I get to be around an integrity partner, it's one thing to be around Hall of Fame producer, agency builders, but an integrity partner, that's an African thing, by fire, by force. So my thing is, no matter what, excuses is an excuse. Like you mentioned, I could have easily said, I'm going back home, the storm, but an excuse, no matter how valid, it's still an excuse. So I say, it doesn't matter if I land at midnight, I'm landing in New Jersey. So I'm here.
Wow, love that. By fire, by force, I'm in. Love it. Well, I appreciate that. Now, Chris, if you can give a little bit of a background, kind of where you're from, where you're coming from, and how, you decided to put your agency on the FFL platform to get it to lift off into the sky, that'd be awesome.
Okay, perfect, awesome. I'm originally from Cameroon, if anybody knew, born and raised there. I have 6 siblings. The reason why I put that as something as where I've come from is if you know anybody that's from Africa and you have siblings and you're the older male, it's a lot of pressure. They expect you to go to school and be the example that goes to become a surgeon, a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer, right? And so that's kind of what my path was, which I started doing it, and then I started in the financial services industry, and I did the math. I'm like, going to school, spending all these years to learn and get that degree and that position in my arm, making me a millionaire, but I spent years and I'm in 6-figure debt just to get there.
Got it.
Versus me paying the cost up front and actually going hard, learning, studying, late night, the same thing you were going to do as a resident, but now you just get the opportunity to be able to serve and help other people. So that it just makes sense for me when I saw it.
I just love the way you put that, the idea of, you were gonna do this. You were gonna do more work, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Longer tail, right? Because
we
you're
lost so
7
my
to
practice.
10 years, right?
Yep.
And you were gonna work. You had to work hard to get that anyway.
Yeah.
So what? So why not financial services? Put in the work up front.
Yep.
And have the long tail be the true long tail.
Yeah.
The tail that is paying you, passively. So that's pretty strong.
Yep.
I appreciate that. And Habi, how about you? Where you coming from?
Yes.
What have you seen in YFFL?
So I am born and raised in Ghana, West Africa, and same just like him. I have 6 siblings. I'm the oldest female, which I'm the second oldest, but I'm the oldest female. So that trumps my brother.
You're
So
like the mother of
out
the
of my
house.
parents, I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
And so initially I was supposed to be a nurse. Like he mentioned, it's either doctor, lawyer, all of that. So I was supposed to be a nurse, but I ran away from the healthcare. I can't do the blood and all that stuff. That's not me. So I came into the financial services about 10 years ago with the practice company. I was 20 years old when I started, and I bought into a dream of what my life could be by now. And I hung on to it.
Years.
I was hanging on to hope.
Wow.
So let's just say about a few months ago, there's a gentleman, Sam, he reached out to me, and he had just came from the conference in February. He reached out to me and says, you gotta check this out. And I've been introduced to Family First, but 2 years ago, I was like, no, I've heard about those people. I'm good.
Those people.
But but this time around, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And I think this was the right time, because it was really at a time where I was trying to figure out where I'm going in my career. I had a reflection. I said, okay, I've been in the industry for 10 years.
Wow.
I'm not where I thought I would be. So what is next? Insanity is doing the same thing, and I'm not insane. So I got to do something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of just doing the same thing.
So I said, I got to do something else. And he sent me the Rogue IMO video, and it was from 4 o'clock to 1 a.m. I was on YouTube. Because when he landed, he called me at 1 a.m. and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm still on YouTube watching videos. That's how much I learned and studied FFL, and it was a no-brainer.
What were you seeing? Like, for you to keep watching videos, there's something that was pulling you into the screen.
Yeah.
What were you seeing?
It was the clarity. It was very clear. There was no fluff, and I love that. There was no fluff. It was either this is for you or this is not. Numbers don't lie. If you do these numbers, this is what's going to happen. And that's what I kept seeing, the pattern. Everybody was saying the same thing, which is 30 appointments a week. And this is, even if you suck at closing, this is what's going to happen. Over time, you're going to improve. So very an extremely predictable system.
No doubt.
I said, perfect. There's no, you don't have to be the most charming person. I don't have to have a charisma of all of that personality. I mean, the most monotone person can come in and kill it.
Wow.
I said, man, this is it. My people can win here. And it was, I said, let's go.
Wow.
I was
scale
sold.
that. Yep.
I was sold.
My people can win here. How important is it, Chris, for you to build a team? Let's put it this way. How sad is it to try to build a team and nobody's eating? But you're eating a little bit.
That hurts.
And no one else is really eating. But every week you're talking to them about what it's going to be like.
Yeah, it hurts. And it's saying it's almost like, because I remember that moment where one time we were at the office, we didn't even have $5 to put gas to get to the next place. And we're just like feeding off this dream, man, one day it's gonna happen. One day. But it's almost like, and then seeing somebody in that spot and you know that it's not fun. It's really not. It's almost like, okay, well, I guess you gotta go talk to more people in the mall today and do all that stuff. It's like
The mall.
yeah. Right. So yeah. So it's not predictable when dude. It's like here I'm literally like it's almost simple. It's like, hey, you either have enough, you either don't have enough lead or you're not calling enough. It's not like, hey, you don't have a great market. It's not like you went to Purdue University or you have great friendship. You don't need that. It's like, hey, can you work? Like if you can work, all right, have enough lead and call. And then go see the people and then repeat again. It's not too many variable that's like complicated. It's like as long as you study the numbers and you come and follow the system, you're gonna get to the destination. That was the biggest thing, because it's like now it takes it away from you having to be charismatic or do certain things which don't really duplicate much. It can help, but it doesn't duplicate. Like it's what duplicate that makes sense when you're building a team.
No doubt.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, I love y'all too. You know, I got to meet you both in Philly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And got a chance to spend some time with you. And Habi, I've seen you a lot
Yeah.
in the last month. So it's been great. But the thing I like about you two the most is how introspective you are to results, not just to dreams.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not here talking about what you want it to be. You're talking about what it is.
Yeah.
And I love that, you know? So you saw FFL. You see it as this golden horse that can get you there, that can help your team see this thing brighter. And since then, you brought your team in, you started moving, you started helping families. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
How has it been, Habi, transitioning from going to the mall
Oh my God.
to working leads?
Yeah.
You know, because I know it's a process, right? Like, no matter, I'm glad you watched 7, 8, 9 hours worth of videos, right? But at the same
Probably
time,
more.
you still have to execute
Yeah.
on what you are seeing, hearing, and believing, right? So now you're in this position of, all right, it's game time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we went out, we played this team in high school, Morristown. We had the best pregame speech I've ever heard in my life.
Hype.
You know what I'm saying? We come out the locker room,
That's a life.
hair on fire,
Yeah.
like just ready to crush people.
Yeah.
The problem was they were loaded.
Yeah.
So we did the kickoff, and we're running down the field as fast as possible, trying to. My man ran that thing back. First kickoff of the game. Maybe it was 56-7.
Wow.
So you could be as hyped as you want.
If
But if you don't execute on the game plan, you're
Yeah.
going to get punched in the mouth. So
Literally.
let's talk about execution. Let's talk about, theory
Yeah.
to game plan
Yeah.
and execution. How's that looking for you?
Definitely, the one thing I was reviewing my notes yesterday. I have just helped a client who was a referral, and I was sitting at Starbucks reviewing my notes, and it was the notes that I took in Philly. I had no clue what I was writing down because I didn't know the industry, but now I review and I said, oh my God. And one thing that I kept writing down from every speaker is you have to find an office. You have to be around the environment. And you can easily say, well, everybody's on Zoom, I can just sit at home. There's too much comfort. Your home is designed to be comfortable.
Right,
There's too much going on. So I found an office, and being there and being able to just being around the people where they get to hear you. If you're messing up, Shannon, just absolutely incredible. I told him, I said, thank God on Memorial Day, most of his appointment was rescheduling, but it was an opportunity for me to be in the office with him for hours, and he got to pour into me. So you have to be there,
That's
and we were
you.
role playing.
That's cute.
And he was like, okay, call me. So I called, and I started, he was like, whoa, slow down. I
Going
said,
too
but
fast.
I am slow. And I said, no. So then he coached me, and I recorded, and it was just, I was so grateful that day.
It's
so
crazy.
you have to find an office. I don't care how far it is. I was in the office where it was like about an hour drive, and I was going to there till I found an office that was closer to me. But it doesn't matter how far.
Yeah.
You got to be in the office. That's just, it's a no-brainer.
You know what's the oddest thing to me is like I used to drive an hour and 30 minutes to an office, right? But then I know that people who are 30 minutes or an hour within this time and they don't come to the office, because I'm like, you do, like, even if it's just a Hall of Fame producer that's there, especially this one where you have an integrity partner, why don't you just show up? Because there are things that are taught and there are things that are caught. And you learn certain things by just being in the environment, in the place. So it's just like, it just makes sense to be at the office because one, it's accountability. Because when you're in the office, you push a little harder. Maybe that call where you would have hung up and said, okay, it's like it forces you or even puts you in a position where you want to level up. So it's the accountability portion of it. Also the fact that you can get help as well. And then the third thing is like, if there's a, like you doing something, maybe making a podcast or seeing how your day is right now and certain things. And sometimes it's almost like at the office is you either the person who is uplifting someone or you are being uplifted.
No doubt.
So it's really just working in your favor to be in the office.
Now watch this. No one opens up an office who's broke.
Yeah.
That means the person who owns the office is producing.
Yeah.
That means there's a wise person there that can train everyone.
Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah.
Probably more than that. Multiples, right? Because most people will flock to the local office and they're really good.
Yeah.
But if I open up an office, that means that I actually am looking to grow.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking to build. I understand. Like, I can't open an office scared to death with no money.
Yep.
That means I'm actually doing something.
Yep.
So, of course, it makes sense that Shannon, who's going to help 1,000 families this year, can help you
he said
through
it.
your struggle.
Like, oh, I'm hungry to your coattail.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is great.
Yeah.
But watch what happens.
Yeah.
Right? Because, number one, that's a great office.
Yes.
Number two, they can really train there.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Shannon and Danielle. Oh my God, bless them.
Bees. They are bees.
They are just really good
With a heart of
trainers.
gold.
Yeah. And they have patience to really walk you through it, help you understand it. They're happy to help.
Yeah.
So that's great about what we do. And now you look at, your best month ever. Y'all haven't been here long. How long have you been here, Habi?
Maybe 60 days now.
60 days. You've been here 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
So your best month, you guys are just shy of senior sales manager. 94 families help, right? And can you feel the swag? Can you feel like
we're coming?
We're coming. We're coming right now. It's almost like we were talking in the car. We're like, if we're coming, it's almost like right now we feel weird where we're trying to establish everything together and it's falling together. But we're like running fast and breaking things and still figuring out like we are going to keep getting better. But it's almost like scary because the people who are in the bench right now that are getting ready to get in the game with us, and it's going to be an explosion. And we're just excited about that because here is almost like it exposes you. The biggest thing I love about FFL is there's not a, oh yeah, good job for doing what you're supposed to do. It's like, dude, if you don't work, everybody knows. Everybody knows. If you don't work, everybody knows because it's going to be like, okay, do you have enough lead? Were you on live down? Did you do this? It's not like, hey, did you talk to that prospect that has a lawyer degree? No, it's like, so it exposes the people that were all hype, that were always getting excited, that were coming around just because they wanted to feel good versus actually coming in and doing something. Yeah. So that's the thing I like about it. It's like, hey, dude, if you're going to execute, there's enough help, there's enough training, there's enough anything. But if you're not, it's going to expose you faster.
Yeah, and that's actually
you're not just going to linger around.
That's what I told my team, the ones that came with me. I had a conversation with them at the beginning of the year, January 1st. I had a conversation with my team at a previous company, and I actually told them, I said, I need you guys to evaluate your life. If this is not for you, you need to quit. At the previous company, which you don't do that. You don't tell your team to quit. Yeah. You need as much recruit as possible.
Yeah. Squeeze one more.
But for me, most of them are parents, they are grandparents, and I said life is too short. I'm like, you guys you're not making any money, like you mentioned earlier. You're not making any money. Just if this is not for you, it's okay. You have my blessing. You don't need it, but you have my blessing. Like I've opened the door, you can walk out. Nobody ended up leaving. It just happened that 3 months later, I said deuces. But the ones that came with me, I had a conversation. I said, look, where we're going is not like where we're coming from. Where we're coming from is very, good job, Mark. Your mama loves you. Jesus loves you. Like it's a lot of that, right? Where here is you get the praise when you put in the work after the work is done.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, if you need that, if you need that, like
cuddling,
that all of that,
cocoon,
I said, stay.
like for not good.
I'm very. I'm very.
If you're about work, come on. If you want to work, if you want to put in the work and get something, come on.
Yeah, and those people stayed, and the ones that wanted to leave left, and the ones that stayed, they.
But don't
stayed.
you feel like it's better that way, where you it's almost like I'd much rather run with a few than just having to drag 1,000 people in my back. Because it's like it takes away the energies. Because most of the time, those people that don't want to put in the work are the people that require the most. They're like, hey, I need you to do this. I'm like, dude, do you know that it was on boot camp? And that's how you know. You can tell. It's crazy. Like everything in the FFL system is like you can go back and track. Like if you want to work, it's there. When somebody asks you a certain question, it's like, did you watch the boot camp? Because I saw in a boot camp. Oh, you skipped the boot camp. Now that becomes an issue. No, when I know that, it's almost like I will call it out where I know the expectation. Okay, cool. You're not the type of person who's going to be, okay, cool, that's going to get to that point. Now I know where to put you. But everything is so laid out. It's almost like if you're looking for it, like if you're looking for a reason to win and a way to win, the boot camp is there. The videos on YouTube. I mean, you can inbox somebody on Instagram at Family First. I did. I actually inboxed it. Everybody that watched the video. I'm talking about Zag, everybody. And I was inboxing it. And they were responding. But it's like if you were seeking it, man, dude, it's there. Like, so it just makes sense to me. Like, if you want to do the work, it just makes sense. Like, because you can always go back with a newest agent and you can know, okay, cool, this is where you messed up. So it's not too many unpredictable factors. That's the biggest thing. Oh, did you watch the boot camp? Did you make enough calls? Were you on time? Did you start dialing early? Or what's your dialing?
How refreshing is that approach? Hey, you're independent.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a high contract. You have to do some of the footwork. You're independent. I know everything is, but you need to watch this and call me back.
Yeah.
Literally, like.
And by the way, if you do watch it,
when
you call me back, or you probably won't call me back because it's so thoroughly done. It's so thoroughly done that a lot of the questions just leave. Right?
Yeah.
How does that feel to be a part of a system that allows you to scale like that?
Man.
It's you can duplicate faster, and it helps you weed out the pretenders from the contingents. It's like, okay, you guys are the pretenders. You stay over there. Those that want to go, let's go. And if you are self-motivated, if you really want to win, because if you're looking for excuses all around you, but if you really want to win, there's everything you need to win. That's why I was on YouTube from 4 o'clock to 1 a.m. and I was watching how to make phone calls, overcoming objection, in-home presentation. I remember I watched the in-home presentation. It was Nina and somebody else, and she talked about putting together your binder. Literally, the next day, I went to the store, I bought my binder, I printed out everything, and I set it up, and
printed
she
cards.
went through. Literally, I made a card. I made some
card
for
for everybody for the team.
I posted on. I'm like, send me your pictures. I'll make a card for you. And just like that, I created it, and it was like, okay, let's do this. So my first appointment from a dial-in. And I closed the gentleman, and I got in, I was just, oh my God, I was so nervous. But I remember, I said, okay, I remember the video said, when you go and identify yourself, here's my badge, here's my ID, here's my license. Okay, why did you fill out this card? And I was just, because I've watched it so many times, I can feel everybody. I'm just repeating, and it was so, and of course, I needed a little bit of help, so I called Wayne, and he was right there too.
Favorite statement, call Wayne.
That's
my statement. Call Wayne. Hey, did you call Wayne? Call Wayne.
Because I remember on the boot camp, because the boot camp said, don't call after you leave the house. Call while you're there. So I implemented, I'm like, okay, I can't leave and then call. So I called and closed, and when I got to the car and I was driving, I said, I did it.
You did
Oh my God, this was painless. Okay, let's do it again. You know, so everything you need to win is there. If you don't win, it's your fault.
It's really not, And then also think about how you say something that people didn't catch, and I saw it and then Mark, you've seen it many years where people come to you and say certain things, and it's like, okay, you weren't paying attention. There's a step that you missed, but you told me that you did the step. And then that question, I know where to find it. You watch the boot camp, you remember exactly, okay, cool, this is the step that I have to call and I have to do that. But sometimes when you're getting a new agent, they're not doing the boot camp, and then now they want to blame you or blame something else for the fact that they didn't actually do the process. It's like, hey, oh, well, I didn't know to do this. Did you watch the boot camp? Okay, cool, you didn't watch the boot camp. So if you didn't watch the boot camp, I'm just going to assume that you didn't really want it. I'm just going to assume that you were saying that you wanted to accomplish A, but you didn't do B. By consequence, C is not going to happen. It's just it's a simple math equation. So it just puts you at peace us, where we know, okay, cool, if we're going to build, these are the steps. I'm going to give you the steps. Right. If you follow it, you're going to come out on the other side. If you don't, it gives us peace to scale that way.
It also allows, if they follow, yes, they move. But if they don't follow, just go back to step one.
Yeah, step one.
Like,
yeah.
That helps. We could say you didn't want it, true. But do you want it now?
Yeah.
Step one.
Go back. Literally, reset button. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
That helps.
I call it the reset button. Just hit the reset button.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, if I can give any advice or tidbit to new agents is become obsessed with wanting to learn the YouTube. I start my day with YouTube. Yep. Usually it's a podcast, and I haven't been listening to my podcast because the FFL videos has replaced it, and it's just on your way, on a dial day, on your way to the office. I was listening to Matt Smith on Monday, and as far as the phone call and the tips and things to say, if you're on your way to a client's house, watch a video on in-home presentation. Literally, whatever you're on your way to, there's a video for it.
Yeah.
The resources and Tri-State, literally the resources is there, and I love that. It's YouTube University. Yeah. You don't need a degree. Right. YouTube is your university.
That's strong.
You don't have to graduate anytime soon. Like, you can be a student for life.
Yeah,
and you're going to win.
No doubt. What are your goals between now and the end of the year, Habi?
So I mentioned this earlier. I had 3 goals, and I mentioned at the dinner in Virginia Beach. Was one is to be a speaker at a sales conference, and I know that's going to come by putting numbers on the board, being able to share what my experience is. But to be honest, for me personally, my goal is definitely logo. Yeah. My goal is logo. I had a name when I came here, but that name has been used like 3 different times. So.
And you said you had another goal.
Yes.
Do you remember what it was?
So to speak at a conference, to speak on a Zoom as a guest, and the last one was to be on here.
Woo! We're gonna get you in Jersey.
I did not know.
A week later, here we are in the studio. Yes. We make it happen out here. That's what we do.
Wow.
All those dreams are gonna come to pass.
Yes.
And I think we're going to find a way to set bigger, hairier goals.
Yeah.
Like, I want y'all to understand how much you can accomplish in a platform as robust and as fast as this.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I actually asked someone at convention, like, hey, what does it take? And I even asked when the first day I stepped foot at convention, what does it take to get on the podcast with Mark Mead or Ivan? I literally asked that question, and it was like, hey, go help families, do this step. I was like, okay, cool, say less. It's crazy. It's not,
go to work.
Go to work, and and it's almost like. But remember, it's crazy. Like, your mindset was like, I want to do this. It has more to giving back, to helping other people, to say, hey, this was my journey, this is what I got. That's why you say I want to be on the podcast. That's why you say I want to train on the Zoom, I want to speak at the convention, because you understood what it took to get there, but you want to inspire other people to get there. So that's why I think it's really that spirit of not being selfish and wanting to give back. That's probably helping you in the home and with the clients. So, absolutely. Yeah.
No doubt. Habi, if they wanted to work with you, they heard your spirit, they heard where you're going, they heard how direct you are and how you want to help people, how would they reach you?
Definitely my cell phone. Is it okay if I?
Sure.
757-652-4643. And I'm also on Instagram is Miss MSHABI 2 underscores. But it's not a lot of hobbies running around on social media. But yes, and of course my full name on Facebook.
Which we'll spell one day. But, listen, I appreciate y'all jumping on with us. I think you guys, I am been inspired on this podcast because I'm looking at 2 super sharp individuals that haven't been here that long to really tap into the fruit, but are primed and ready to bite into the fruit and get out the juice. So I'm excited about y'all too. I'm excited about your group, Chris, and I'm excited about what's happening, what's coming for you, Habi. Let's get it. Appreciate y'all, man. God bless. We keep bringing the heat. Keep y'all warm out there. God bless.